uncovering creatures from the past, long buried in ice, only to find they are not what we expected. This is the stuff of both wonder and terror. From ancient beasts with features that defy belief to a creature so massive it earned the nickname Antarctic Godzilla, these frozen wonders have left the scientific community shocked. Today, we're diving into some of the most horrifying discoveries, creatures that, perhaps, should have stayed locked in their icy tombs. Are we ready to face what's been frozen in time? Stay tuned, because these discoveries are about to take you on a journey that could change everything you know about life on Earth. 1. The ancient camels, a journey through time. Let's dive into one of the more mind-boggling discoveries. Camels, those iconic creatures we associate with desert landscapes, didn't originate in the hot, arid regions of Africa or the Middle East. In fact, camels first evolved in North America over 40 million years ago. It seems impossible to think of them in such a setting, doesn't it? But they weren't always the desert dwellers we know today. Over time, these ancient camels migrated across the land bridge to Asia and Africa, adapting to new environments. However, one of their relatives, the camelops, chose a different path. It stuck around in North America. Now picture this: vast, icy plains stretching across the North American wilderness. Herds of camelops roamed this land, moving through what we now know as the Ice Age. These camels were not just surviving, they were thriving in sub-zero temperatures, adapting to an environment most of us wouldn't think a camel could endure. The sight of these magnificent creatures in such a harsh climate is a truly awe-inspiring thought. In 2008, an unlikely group made a fascinating discovery in Alaska: gold miners. While digging, they unearthed ancient camel bones that had been preserved in the ice for millennia. The preservation was so remarkable that scientists were able to extract DNA from the bones, something that, just a few decades ago, would have seemed like pure science fiction. Can you imagine the excitement of those scientists, holding in their hands the DNA of an Ice Age camel? It's one of those rare moments in science where reality seems stranger than fiction. When I reflect on these ancient camels, I can't help but think about how climate change played a pivotal role in shaping the evolutionary paths of animals. The sudden shifts in climate that led these creatures to adapt to new environments are not all that different from the shifts we're facing today. The ice that preserved these camels is now melting due to modern climate changes, and the creatures we have today might not have the same luxury of adaptation. It's a sobering thought. 2. The giant Ice Age beaver, a prehistoric predator. Now let's take a turn into something even more bizarre. Imagine a giant beaver. Yes, a beaver, but not like the ones we see swimming in rivers today. This creature was 6 feet long and weighed over 200 pounds, about the size of a black bear. But here's the kicker. It had 6-inch long teeth, front teeth that were fierce-looking and formidable. You might think it was some kind of vicious predator, but surprisingly, it wasn't. This giant beaver was a herbivore, feasting mostly on aquatic plants. So why does it get lumped in with predatory creatures in our minds? Well, size and teeth for one. Picture this lumbering creature swimming through ice-cold waters with a tail so massive that it could easily confuse anyone who laid eyes on it. Researchers believe this giant beaver roamed parts of North America, including areas in Yukon and Ohio, during the Ice Age, living from 10,000 to 50,000 years ago. So, what happened to this creature? Well, climate change likely played a massive role. As the Earth warmed, the ecosystem changed. Smaller, more adaptable beavers were better suited to survive, and over time, the giant beaver went extinct, unable to compete with its nimble relatives. Personal insight. Reflecting on the giant beaver's story really makes me think about how our modern environment is constantly shifting. Today, we see many species struggling to adapt to the rising temperatures, much like the giant beaver did thousands of years ago. This ancient creature's extinction serves as a warning. Our actions today could have a similar impact on the animals we share this planet with. 3. The mysterious woolly mammoths. The story of Yuka and the Siberian find few animals have captured our imagination like the mammoth. These colossal creatures roamed the earth, their shaggy fur and long tusks making them an iconic symbol of the Ice Age. But what's even more incredible is that we can still find traces of them, frozen in time. In 2010, scientists made an astonishing discovery in Siberia. A mammoth, Yuka, a young female, was found perfectly preserved in the ice, along with her skin, hair, and even eyes still intact. This specimen, dating back 39,000 years, appeared to be frozen as if she had just fallen into a deep freeze, only to remain there until she was unearthed. Some researchers believe she may have gotten trapped in a mud pit, which preserved her body so well over the years. But there's more. Cut marks on her bones suggested that early humans may have butchered her for meat. Can you imagine the moment when the team first encountered Yuka, a living relic of a world long gone, her body a snapshot of the distant past, her last moments frozen in time? I can't help but feel a deep sense of awe when I think about Yuka. It's as if she holds a piece of history, one that is both humbling and chilling. What if early humans had not hunted her? Could the mammoths have survived longer, changing the course of history? It's a haunting thought, but one that ties directly into the way humans have always interacted with the creatures they share the planet with. The steppe bison, an ancient beast that defied time. Next up is the steppe bison, another Ice Age giant whose story defies the limits of time. In 2011, researchers uncovered a mummy of a steppe bison that had been frozen for nearly 10,000 years in Siberia. Unlike other mummified creatures, this bison was found in such incredible condition that scientists could study its organs, heart, and even brain tissue. What makes this discovery so fascinating is that the bison had starved to death, but its internal organs remained well preserved, offering an unprecedented view into the life of a creature long gone. This wasn't just any mummified animal. Scientists were able to extract brain tissue, allowing them to study how the bison's neurological system worked. The idea of holding something as ancient as this bison's brain tissue is mind-blowing. It makes me think about the fragility of life, how much we take for granted today, and how much knowledge can be hidden in the simplest remains. Our connection to these creatures might be more fragile than we realize. 5. The baby woolly mammoth, a miracle in the permafrost. Fast forward to 2022, when a baby woolly mammoth was discovered in the Yukon. This remarkable discovery was different from others in that it was the most complete mummified mammoth found in North America. This tiny mammoth, believed to be only a month old when it died, had skin, hair, and soft tissue intact. Researchers believe it may have died after getting stuck in the mud while grazing. What makes this find particularly emotional is that this little creature could have had a chance to survive, had it not met a tragic end. The mammoth's stomach contents were a clue to its final moments, showing what it had been eating in its short life. When I close my eyes and think about this little woolly mammoth, I can't help but imagine its first steps in an ancient world. The realization that this baby never had a chance to live, to grow into one of the giants of the Ice Age, is a bittersweet reminder of how fragile life can be. 6. The woolly horse, a forgotten species of the Ice Age. And then there's the Lanina horse, a species of horse that lived during the Ice Age and went extinct long before modern horses appeared. In 2018, a foal was discovered in Siberia, preserved so perfectly that the tiny details, like the hairs around its nostrils, were still visible. This foal, part of an extinct species of Ice Age horses, had been frozen in time, providing scientists with an invaluable opportunity to study its genetic structure. The fact that scientists were able to extract DNA samples from this foal is significant, because it confirms that species like the Lanina horse were once a part of the world's ecosystem. This foal's discovery reminds us of just how much has been lost to time. Every time I learn about an extinct species, like the Lanina horse, I feel a deep connection to the Earth's past. These creatures were once part of the intricate web of life, and their loss is a reminder of the transient nature of existence. The more we uncover, the more we realize how much we still have to learn. Now, as we've explored these breathtaking and terrifying discoveries, one thing becomes crystal clear. These frozen creatures are not just relics of the past. They're time capsules, preserving the untold stories of Earth's distant history. These Ice Age beasts offer us more than biological insights. They provide a glimpse into how life adapts under extreme pressure. But perhaps the most profound lesson is this: the world that these creatures inhabited isn't as different from the one we live in now. Just like the mammoths and the giant beavers, we too are vulnerable to the forces of nature. Climate change, just as it once led to the extinction of these magnificent beings, is now threatening our world in ways we can no longer ignore. The environment shapes everything, just as it did millions of years ago, and we must act before it's too late. So the next time you hear about a new discovery from the ice, remember, these creatures weren't just frozen in time. They are a stark reminder of what can happen when we fail to listen to the whispers of nature. What do you think? Is history repeating itself? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your reflections. And don't forget to subscribe for more astonishing tales from the deep freeze of time.